Here we are again,
So,
out cruising. Toba has his 100-volt Nikola, I have my 84-volt MSX, and we're riding each other's electric unicycles today. And I was using my cat eye pump that I've been using for my mountain bike forever, and I pumped up the tire for him to 25 psi, and he felt it and he said, "This is hard as a rock." My pump is so off, man. It's so off. So when we looked at the psi that I pumped for him, my cat eye said it was 25 psi. With his pump, it said it was 38. So I thought it was riding at 20 psi.
almost 40.
Yeah, I was like
Yeah.
at 30 and above, you know, and I've been doing 50 kilometers an hour, and I've been going off-road with that, and I'm like, yeah. And on gravel, I've been fighting with 18 XL riders. So I broke inside and I'm like, why am I such a terrible rider? Why am I such a terrible person? I've been riding with too much. I've been riding with high PSI this whole time.
Yeah.
So, you know,
hard as a rock.
hard as a rock.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
So
now
we adjusted it to, what do we put, like 27?
we put
Not just over 30 psi on both wheels.
on both wheels.
On both wheels.
Exactly.
And
And I weigh right now with this and my backpack, I probably weigh 67 kilos.
yeah, 92 with the helmet and backpack.
And I'm riding on the Nikola, which is a 16 times 3, and he's riding on the MSX, which is an 18 times 3. So it should be enough. It's going to be a little bit hard for me and a little bit soft for him,
Yeah.
right? And I was riding the Nikola 100V, and we were up on a little path here, and I hit 45 easy, right? He took the side pads and he sliced them so that they're half as thick, and now they feel good because the side pads at default, they're too thick. They're just too thick. So he sliced them and he lowered them so they're almost at MSX height, a little bit higher than MSX height. So then you have like the tipping a bit lower instead of having it so high up.
So they don't press so hard against your legs, so you get a little bit of play. But if you want, you can squeeze and power push it.
So here's the pads. Slice it, right? So a little rubber here, and then the pad.
Yeah.
So we're good. If we look at where this is, it's leaning here.
Yeah.
We go over to my MSX, and it's leaning here, right? I know the ground is uneven, but it's an indication, you know, that the height isn't too far off. I'm short, so I still feel the width of the Nikola, and the width is similar to the MSX, which means that I'm not riding like this, you know. I'm riding a bit duck-footed, and I want my knees to travel out here because I like riding soft and low, right? And I can do that on the Nikola. He has 1 degree forward on the pedals and I can feel it.
Yeah.
I ride at 0.
Yeah,
right?
and I feel like he has about 1 degree back.
Yeah.
Tilt up on his pedals, but it's because I'm used to 1 degree down.
And that's even though, or maybe even more so, because of his shoes.
Yes, my shoes have a heel, big heel. So actually I'm probably having like 2 degrees down.
Yeah,
more.
exactly.
Yeah, and I
exactly.
like that. I like the power. Well, there's a little bit of braking.
And I'm at zero with flat shoes, the middle of the universe, where I want to be. For everyone who lowered their tire pressure to 20 psi because of me, I'm sorry. To everyone's tire that I pumped with my pump, I'm sorry. Petra, I'm sorry. You're at 23, you're probably at 30, but hey, you've been doing like 45 on that and riding good, you know. And the same on my 9-bot. I checked Simon's 18XL that it was at 25, so that means it's at 30 plus. So it probably wouldn't be a bad thing if we took a bit of air out of it to give him a bit of a cushier ride. Because there's no point in having big tires if you're going to overinflate them, unless you like them overinflated, right? Unless you like riding on a rock. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, lower to 18 psi the day before yesterday. I'm such a rebel.
Still 30.
Still 30, man. Still 30. The day I finally lowered until 30. So yeah, that's it. We're gonna roll.
Peace. Det var inte bra, det var inte bekvämt.
You guys riding your 16Xs, weighing 140 pounds on 20 psi to compensate for wobbliness. Good luck. Because 20 psi on my MSX, when I did it with Toba's pump, it was too low, right? It was too low. I went up a little curve, a little less than half the tire compressed, but I offloaded it, I jumped, and so on and so on. You won't always have that control, man, so good luck with your rim.
Snake bite.
You're gonna get snake bite. Don't solve it that way, man. Pump the tire, ride it, learn to ride. Don't compensate for wobbles by riding a flat tire. Just learn to ride the wheel, and if the tire sucks, then the tire sucks, you know? But the tire is the tire and you're you. You can't change the tire. Now for some rolling footage.